How am I? How the hell? How am I supposed to work in this work environment? It's 4 interception missions, and this. Ugh, I don't like those. I don't like this at all. So you might be wondering why we're doing this, because I'm super upset. Today... I just... Man... People can't just leave well enough alone, can they? I mean, I understand why people are upset, but at the same time, I'm like... Oh great, I'm mad. Great, I wasn't paying attention because I'm too upset. This is where we stand, people. Got a pain in my chest. I'm gonna probably go for a walk after this to desalinate, get all them Celine Dion's out of me. I'm just. I'm just upset.
Tenno, I need to get inside enemy data vaults in the tree.
Like,
crucial intelligence data.
What is a boy to do? Is really what I'm getting at. Come on, man. You know what's really fun is someone walks up to you and is like, hey, you're doing this wrong. I just hate that. I hate what happens. It makes you so upset when that happens. It's like they don't just walk up to me and they're like, no, listen, you might wanna fix this, you might wanna not do that. No, they're just hardcore, hey, listen, you're fucking shit up.
None of the scanners have detected you.
Just unapologetic, walking up to my face. Look, give me the good old stink eye and going, you doing this? You're upsetting people. Now it hurts. It hurts. I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I'm gonna go back, and then I'm probably gonna instantaneously have to swap on over to the rowing machine. Oh man, I need to move. I haven't moved all day. I think if anything is a good reason to take a quick break from what I've been doing recently, it would be that. It would be the fact that someone just couldn't leave well enough alone. Ugh. Does the explosion from Prowl even... Great, I love when that happens. Oh, man. Oh, it hurts. That hurts real bad. Wow. That hurts about as much as it usually does, all things considered, but it still hurts.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
La 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 la. God, I can't focus. My goddamn chakras are all out of whack. There's an old saying that goes, you can get your chakras in a bunch, but you can't get them in a whack. I know what it means, but it's a saying. It's a thing that people say. A saying. Oh, I've never seen that before. Where's it going? Where's it going? Where are you taking that boy? Why does the door not completely close? Why is it only like just a little bit, just a little closure, just a little bit, just a little smidgen of closure. Do 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 do. Oh, I can run, but I can't run and jump. Okay. That's the tipping point. Did not know that. Look at the ball has senses. I hit this guy, I didn't mean to hit. Bleh. I haven't done D&D in a while. I'm just really... I need to... What I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna actually fucking do some shit. I'm gonna prepare for the game. I'm gonna go home from a little meeting I have to have. I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna work on the fucking piece of fucking paper I gotta do. Prepare all the stuff. I mostly just have to write down. Okay, I only have to prepare for the cobalt thing. All things considered, that's really all I have to do. Is I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. I just need to write out like some approximations on what's gonna happen. Also, I want to talk about Pathfinder 2. I want to talk about how Pathfinder 2 has a serious fucking problem with calling everything feats and making everything just, here, pick! You know what Pathfinder 2 is? Pathfinder 2 is it just holds out a deck of like 52 cards and it's like, here, pick! And you're like, what? And she's like, pick! And you're like, okay. Like, I recently saw that video of like choice paralysis and I'm like, this is choice fucking paralysis to the T. Like, there's too much choice. And I'm like, okay, you know what I prefer? Is I can pick between 5 feats, and they're all really cool. Instead of, here's a bunch of, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to go. I don't know how big their feats are going to be, but to me, it's like, build your own fucking class. I'm like, what's the point of a class? Just call a theme. Your theme is your divine caster. You're not a cleric. You're a person you're a divine caster, period. Just call it that. You want to know why? Because a cleric has stopped being a cleric now. You've made a cleric something else. You've made a cleric this list of things. This is a list of things that a cleric could be. He might not be. And you're like, okay, what does that tell me? Well, it tells you if you encounter a person and they cast a divine spell, they might have any of these things, really. It gives the GM so much bullshit room. It's like, well, actually, they also kind of got rid of that part. Like, they kind of like, oh, your monsters are now free. I'm like, no. That's why I like Pathfinder. That's why I like the feat system, is the feats as they were. If you just take the base feats, you got a nice, slender list of things to pick from. You got enough choice to pick something cool, but not too much that I'm like, fuck. And that's a big problem I have with Pathfinder, is they really started just hammering in, oh, you get to pick something every level! And then Starfinder was like, you get to pick something every level! And I'm like, oh my fucking god! I'm not sitting at the goddamn table so that I get to pick 8 billion things. I want to sit at the table at level 20, and I just want to be, okay, we're level 20, I get to pick, like, 8 things. Cool. And they pick, like, you have to consider this. If you're starting at level 20, what do you pick? Well, first and foremost, you have to pick all of your equipment. Then you have to pick all of your feats. Then you have to pick, I don't know, your spells, your skills. You've got so much to worry about. And you might say, but that's character custom. No! No! Don't be like that. Don't be that kind of person who's like, my character is my stats. That's not how that works. And that's what I liked about it. Is there was this like, you are just, you're a sorcerer. That's what you are. Now you could just say you're an arcane caster. They apparently, a lot of people are bitching about prepared spellcasting. Like, come on, man. Like, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing, do they? Like, Paizo's just bullshitting their way through Pathfinder 2. Because the decisions they're making are... Like, they're keeping prepared spellcasting? Really? You're going to go with this hootsy-tootsie proficiency system, but for some god-awful reason, you're going to hold on to prepared spellcasting in the same breath? Come on, man. Come on, don't be like that. I just want to poke him in the side and go, what are you doing this? What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing, huh? What do you think you're doing? You think anyone's going to like this? You think you're going to get a pat on the back for this shit? The only people who are going to like this already like 5e, and they're going to play 5e. Like, what are they... Like, what I would have wanted is just, I don't know, not this. Like, they would just streamline it, bring it back to 0, make it... Like, I was on board. Let me get this straight. I was on board a long way with that Pathfinder 2. I was on board for a large part of them being like, okay, this is how it's going to work. But then I was like, oh, I have to fucking build everything now? Now my class isn't anything, but wow. And then it was like, okay, but by the way, not only that, but there's nothing set in stone. Your class is literally nothing now. And I'm like, really? Come on. Come on. You know what was fun? Is when someone picked a rogue, it's like, this is what a rogue is. And you looked over the list and you're like, oh, this is what a rogue is. This is what a rogue is going to be. And now it's like, this is what a rogue could be. This is this wild cloud of rogue space. I'm like, yeah, that's customizability, I guess. But you know what the problem was with Starfinder is that customizability just kind of made me go, I don't give a shit. Like, my class stopped... The class needs to be a thing. Now it's a theme. Now it's this broad idea of what you are. Are you a soldier? Who the fuck knows? You can be a better soldier than a soldier by picking the right garbage. It's all just make-believe now. What's your class? Oh, you're a magic wizard. Because you can cast spells. Why am I a fighter instead of a rogue? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. We don't want to build a class. We don't want to tell you what to do. And it's like, you kind of have to. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, why don't you just fucking make Numenera then? Because you're making Numenera at this rate. You're making a system that doesn't give a shit. Like, that's what I don't... That's what bothers me, is that's what Numenera did. Numenera is like, there are really only 3 main classes. There's the guy that shoots people. No. There's the guy that shoots people. The guy that kind of talks around the town. And then there's the guy who shoots the magic mumbo-jumbo. And they just said that's the classes. And then they made some extra class, and they were like, eh. And I feel that that's kind of a... Like, there's a problem. At some... Like, I liked archetypes. I liked the idea of you picked something, and that's what you were. I knew what you were going for. And if you want to pick something else, you better fucking pick that class, man. You better sacrifice your progress for it. But now you can just be like, eh. Someone's going to eventually release a fucking feat that lets everyone cast spells. You fucking know that's going to happen. There's no way to avoid it. You want to know why? Because that's how Pathfinder's worked so far, is there's books for everything. You want to be a magic pixie man who shoots farts out of his ass and casts divine spells in the same breath? There's a class for that. And I like that. Because then you were like, okay, you're now restricted to this, and you got certain problems. But now you can just be whatever. They're going to make everything. Or, and this is worse, they're going to fill in too many holes. You see, the problem with 5e is there's no space. You need to reinvent the wheel to make things work a bit. They've got their grounds covered, and I like it. I really like how 5e handles it. Is your class is straightforward. No choices. There's a couple of choices, and they're cool choices. The feats in 5e are great choices. You make a big, fat, sloppy choice, and you don't get like a small burger. No, you get a Big Mac. You get a big bite, and it's like, I made a big choice for big boys. My problem is you make that choice once, and then the choice just sits there the whole way through. I would have liked it if there's like a couple of big choices. Like a couple of moments where you get to pick a new meal, get to pick a taco, get to pick a burrito, get to change your menu up a bit. You know, that's what I like about prestige class. Prestige class, they're just not going to be there because there's no point. Why would you make a fucking prestige class in Pathfinder? Why? What's the point? Classes are so flexible. You just say, well, this is a wizard feat and a fighter feat. They can both take it. Bada bing, bada boom. It's a wizard fighter class. And I don't like that. It's like, what? You know what's really great is I can open a 3.5 book, and in that is a Scar Defender. What is a Scar Defender? They are basically half-elves that hate the shit out of humans and elves. Because they're like, you're both rude to me. And it's a prestige class. And it's got this whole fancy list of this is what your life is like as a Scar. You're going to learn these things because this is what your life is. Your class is your life. And this is how your life affects you and how you affect your life. It's like every choice you make is your equipment and how you interpret those things and how you apply them. And now it's like, no, there's not going to be that kind of prestige class. There's no point to it. What's the fucking point? What's a prestige class going to be like? Why would you make an archetype? Just make a feat that works for both classes and bada bing, bada boom. You could just make a feat that says this is a feat for wizards and let them use swords effectively. Bada bing, bada boom, you made yourself an archetype. Same sacrifice. They both sacrificed a feat. They both made the big... I don't know. I think the system is going to look better once I see it. But for now, I'm like, I don't like the system. It's like, at some point, you need to break. Because that breaking is where the fun is. When you break the bamboo and there's just wooden splinters all over the place, and everyone's like, fuck, that's great. My first character was a multi-class rogue sorcerer, and it felt terrible. I was like, God, these numbers are sucky. These numbers are shit. And then I think I made a bard and I made him terrible, and I was like, God, this sucks. But at the same time, I was like, hey, all this suck made things great. All these terrible things that made me go, bleh, made me go, I still look back at that character, and I'm like, I would not go for an... Actually, I did go for an Elder Scoundrel, but that was mostly because those guys were playing a high-level game, and I kind of need the character to live up to their standards. But I would totally make a Rogue Sorcerer again, like that, and I would have fun. And now I feel like there's just going to be a feat. There's just someone who's going to make a book, and it's going to be the Book of Rogues and Sorcerers. And there's going to be feats that say you get to cast spells as a 4-level lore wizard. And a lot of the stuff is so small. It's like you're going for bounded accuracy, because you're going for these small numbers. But you're not doing the... Like, here's an irony that I hate. Here's a problem that I fucking hate about 5e. 5e's bounded accuracy is the perfect fucking system for the washing list of 3.5. Here's tiny baby bonuses. 1 point extra in 5e means so much more. And I'm so disappointed that they're like, oh, it's just advantage. No! Your bounded accuracy system is perfect for these +1 items. Like, here's a +1 item that gives you +1 to seeing further and -1 to seeing closer. And they didn't do it. They went with advantage. And it just blew the whole fucking system into, what are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do? Mechanically speaking, you have one type of item you can make. Either it gives advantage or disadvantage on a thing. It's not +1. It's not well, you could do circumstantial, I guess. But Advantage is such a flat system and doesn't guarantee anything. You can roll 1 twice and fail. But you can have a +1 and roll 1 and still succeed. Because that's what it's for, I think. I think that those tiny +1s are like, you build up this arsenal of like, you've got special claw hands, you've got goo on your fingers, you got the special juice in your arms that makes you climb better, and you're like, I'm going to climb this fucking wall, and you roll a 1, and you're like, oh, no, I'm going to fall, and the DM is like, actually, you're not going to fall, because all those bonuses got you there. And you're like, all this preparation work is paid off. I don't know. It just feels like a montage. And I don't know what they're going to do with Pathfinder, but so far the small numbers made me go, are you going to... Because I don't know if I like the whole getting rid of it. I kind of like automatic bonus progression. It's a nice system. It's a really nice system. Because it takes the pressure off you to implement, like, that kind of stuff. But I feel that because it's now the system, instead of being like, oh, here's an optional rule, I'm like, okay, but what if I don't want that? What if I want my characters to be dirt, garbage, terrible, but I want them to use items? Where's the system for that? Because, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to play AD&D one day. I'm going to be like, man, I can't believe I didn't play this game for so long. Sure, it's terrible as fuck, but it's that, Oh, man, I'm rolling. How do you get backflips again? Because you turn on a fucking dime. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I know what I'm angry about. Maybe I'm just angry about change. I'm just a grumpy old, crotchety old man swinging his cane around. I don't know. I'm not feeling positive about this. Bleh.